Hello guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Naneng Sinta Rahmawati from H3 2019. Now I would like to read my proposal seminar. And here we go. Teaching writing argumentative text to grade 9 junior high school through Zoom meeting. Research proposal. This paper presented as partial fulfillment of the requirement to obtain the bachelor's degree in English education. Neneng Sinta Rahmawati, ID number is 19220183, Language Education Faculty, Institut Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan IKIP Siliwangi, Cimahi 2021. A. Title: Teaching Writing Argumentative Text to Grade 9 Junior High School through Zoom meeting. Background of the research. Learning English is one of a foreign language in Indonesia. In learning English, there are 4 skills that must be mastered by students. They are speaking, listening, and reading and writing. Many students have difficulty in learning English. One of them is learning writing. Language plays an important role in human life. Language can develop intellectual intelligence, emotional, and spiritual intelligence, according to ARIP 2017. Student language skill in Indonesia need to be improved, especially for writing skill. Writing skill is the most difficult language skill, but its role in human life is very important. Skills are needed to solve complex problems, collaborate, and communicate well with others. Gain skill and information independently and can adapt to rapidly changing conditions complete globally at the present time. According Andrews in 2009, state the arguments are very important in education because of the following points. First, it is important to argue rationally in a civilized society, and students are higher education level are expected to do so both in school and in the real world. Second, advances in knowledge often come through arguments. Third, the argument is about classification and persuasiveness. Fourth, arguments can be fun. Difficulties experienced by students greatly impacted the result, such as error in writing, vocabulary, or selection of inappropriate tenses. Therefore, a research was conducted for teaching writing argumentative text through Zoom meeting. Research question. Based on the background, the researcher formulate research question as follows. 1. How are the scenario and implementation of teaching writing argumentative text through Zoom meeting? 2. What are the student response toward teaching writing argumentative text through Zoom meeting? 3. What are students' difficulties in learning writing argumentative text through Zoom meeting? 4. What are teachers' difficulties in teaching writing argumentative text through Zoom meeting? D. Objective of the research. The goal of the research are 1. To find out the scenario and implementation of teaching writing argumentative text through Zoom meeting. 2. To investigate student and teachers' response to learning writing argumentative text. 3. To discover students' difficulties in learning writing argumentative text through Zoom meeting. 4. To examine teachers' difficulties in teaching writing argumentative text through Zoom meeting. E. Significances of the research. The result of this research have benefits for teaching students and can use the research as a guide. 1. For teacher. The research is to improve the teaching and learning writing skill, especially in argumentative text. 2. For students, can be used to develop abilities in writing skill. 3. For next learning process, reference material for writing teaching. F. Definition of key terms. Definition of key terms that are non-frequently used terminologies in research as the following. 1. Teaching is an effort to provide stimulus, guidance, and encouragement to students so that the learning process occurs according Burton 2003. 2. Writing is process which the people can explore and discover their thought and ideas in written form. Besides that, writing system is system of written symbol which represent the sounds, syllables, or word of language according to Richard in 1985, 4-9. 3. Argumentative text. Argumentative text is usually defined as type of discourse concerned with the presentation and evaluation of argument. Either rhetorical or dialectical, which is show the cause-effect relationship established in event or theory. 4. Zoom meeting. Zoom meeting is an application that is often used by today's entrepreneurs and teachers. The application is commonly used a means of conveyance between a teacher and a disciple, so the learning is still productive in spite of different location. G. Literature review. In this part, the researcher present the literature review this paper. They are one teaching. A. Definition of teaching. According Burton Usman in 1994, teaching is the guidance of learning activities. According Adrian 2004, a psychology expert divides the concept of teaching into three kinds of understanding, namely 1. Quantitative understanding. Teaching is defined as a transmission of knowledge, namely the transmission of knowledge. A. Definition of teaching. Burton. Teaching is the guidance of learning activities. In Arderian in 2004, a psychology expert divide the concept of teaching into three kinds of understanding, namely 1. Quantitative understanding. Teaching is defined as the transmission of knowledge, namely the transmission of knowledge. In this case, the teacher only needs to master the knowledge of the field of study and convey it to students as well as possible. The problem of the students, such as our failure, is not the responsibility of the teacher. 2. The definition of institutional efficiency or orchestration of teaching skill, namely the efficient arrangement of all teaching abilities. In this case, the teacher is required to always be ready to adapt various teaching techniques to students who have various types of learning as well as their talents, abilities, and needs. Definition of qualitative. Teaching is defined as the facilitation of learning, which is to help facilitate student learning activities to find their own meaning and understanding. According Burton, in Sagala 2003, argues that teaching is to provide stimulus, guidance, and effort to students so that the learning process occurs. Definition of writing. According to White in 1986, writing is the process of expressing the ideas, information, knowledge, or experience and understand. The writing to acquire the knowledge or some information to share and learn. According Tarjian in 1994, stated, writing is activity to produce or draw graphic symbol which represent a language that is understood by people. So the other people can so that other people can read the graphic symbol presented. People will understand the graphic symbol presented if they understand the language and the graphic itself. Purpose of writing. The purpose of writing, according to Tarjian in 1994, summarize the purposes of writing. Those are assignment purpose. The writers will start writing when someone asks writers to write about something. The idea which will be written by the writers does not come from writer itself. B. Altruistic purpose. The purpose is to entertain the readers, to remove the reader's sadness with the writer's work. C. Persuasive purpose. It has purpose to convince the readers about the true opinion presented. D. Information purpose. The purpose of writing is to give information, explanation to the readers. 3. Definition argumentative text. Definition argumentative text. According Andrews in 2009, state the arguments are very important in education because of the following point. First, it is important to argue rationally in a civilized society in a student or higher education level are expected to do so both in school and in the real world. Second, advances in knowledge often come through arguments. Third, the argument is about classification and persuasiveness. Fourth, argument can be fun. H. Methodology and research procedure. Procedure research is systematic, controlled, empirical, and critical investigation of hypothetical propositions about the presumed relation among natural phenomena. According to Carolinger in 1992, in Ranbir Singh, Malik, and Fuad Abdul Hamid, 2014. The research procedure that the researcher do is as follows. 1. Preparation procedure observe the process of teaching, learning, writing, argumentative in Zoom meeting. 2. Implementation procedure give test writing to the student, afterward collecting their writing text. 3. Evaluation procedure analyzes their work in order to find the error set made by student. Analyzing student ability in writing argumentative text. I. Subject of research. The subject in this research were students of junior high school in Cimahi, especially 9th graders, totally 36 students. J. Instrument of research. In this research, use observation and tests. 1. Observation. Observation is observe an object to get information. This observation used to collect the data. 2. Test. Test collecting information. Test used to find out students' ability in writing. K. Data collection. 1. Observation. The student will get the information from the text about argumentative text. Test. 2. Task. The student test proceed with the material.